Alright guys, happy Friday. Gonna go do that big old power wash job or pressure wash job I told you all about. Lots of concrete. Got my rental surface cleaner with me today. The 20-inch My TT from Home Depot. $31 plus tax, and they give you a 50-foot of hose too. So we're rolling out. We got 200 feet of pressure wash hose. We got 100 feet of garden hose and an extra 50 feet of that in my toolbox. Let's see, what do we got? We got our bleach. We got everything we need. We're gonna go soft wash the buildings, soft wash the overhangs, and then we're going to pressure wash with the surface cleaners, the sidewalks, and the pool decks and stuff like that. So big day. And you know, the only thing I didn't ask the guy, which I forgot to ask, is the payment arrangement. I don't know if I'm getting a check today at the end of the job, or if the HOA is going to pay me in a month or 3 months. I really don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I was so excited to get the job, I didn't really care. And it's not like if I don't get the check today, then, you know, I mean, big deal. It's not really costing me crap to do the job. But a question came up from Mark yesterday, and it's a good question. He asked, do people mind that I use their water, so their spigot with my garden hose? Okay, that's a really good question. No, they don't mind. And 99.99% of the people don't even realize it. You know, they don't really. If they have a thought on it, they don't ask. They don't say nothing. You know, sometimes I'll ask them, okay, where's your spigot? I'll need to hook up a hose, and they don't even flinch. They're just like, oh, it's right there on the side. There's no issues with that. Now, when you compare that, look, this guy's passing me, a 25 mile per hour zone during the school, and this guy just passed me. Man. So, and I'm doing 35 right now. I was doing 30 when he passed me. School kids around. It's not a school zone, but I mean, it's a 25 mile an hour speed limit here. And the thing is I'll catch him right up here at the light. He'll be at the same light I'm going to be at. Freaking idiot. So, a big. First of all, pressure washing, when you're using like a pressure tip, you don't use as much water as a garden hose washing your car. All right, you use, I think they say on average, about 80% less water volume, just a lot more pressure, because it's squeezing water through a very small hole, and that's what creates your pressure. You know, and your pump is what pumps it and pumps it and pumps it and pushes it through that pressure with a whole lot of force, you know, so that's what makes your pressure. Now, when you're soft washing, you're using the big holes, you're using the tips with the big holes, and, you know, here's an idiot. I'm right on his bumper. Stopped at the same freaking light I'm stopped at. Fucking jackass. Go up there and hit him. Yeah, that's me, jerk. I'm about, I don't know, you guys want to see? Yeah, he's looking in his mirrors. I think he's starting to realize how stupid he is. I'm on him. So anyways, now he's cleaning his mirrors. So anyways, I love doing that to people that, they're just so stupid. I mean, where'd you get, you know? Where'd you get? So you don't really use any volume, you know, when you're pressure washing. It's very little volume compared to using just a garden hose washing your car or hosing your driveway down. All right, so that right off the bat, you could always say to your customer, if they were to say something, you say, hey, you know, pressure washing actually uses about 80% less water than just your garden hose. And people are like, oh, and if they want to go back and Google it, they'll find the same information that you find when you Googled it. So that right there kind of makes that would calm the waters. But here's a misconception that people have. People think that because you see these pressure wash rigs driving around with these huge tanks, they think that you're not using the customer's water. All right, in most situations they are. In some situations they're not. They might be going to places that don't have spigots, that maybe the water's turned off, maybe rental properties, maybe, you know, apartment complexes where there's a spigot only every once in a while and you don't reach. Although that would be dangerous as hell to do. I wouldn't even say that. That would be stupid. Here's the deal. These big dog pressure wash companies that have these 6, 7, 8 gallon per minute pressure washers, they can't run off of a garden hose. They can't run off of a hose spigot. It's not enough volume and the pump's gonna start cavitating. I mean, you're talking, you know, 6 or 7 or 8 gallons per minute. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, you're filling up a 5 gallon bucket damn near every 40 seconds. So you go out to your garden, you go out to your yard right now and you take a garden hose, or don't even use the garden hose, just turn your spigot on full blast and see how long it takes to fill a 5 gallon bucket. Now, if your pump is pulling more than that while you're soft washing, then you're going to cavitate your pump and burn it up. So what these people have are these big old giant 100, 150, 200, 250 gallon tanks or water reservoirs on their rig. And that pumps into their, or piped into their pressure washer. So their pressure washer is drawing, you know, on 100 or 200 gallons of water at all times. There's always a chunk of water sitting there at all times for your pressure washer to suck off of. And then they have an inlet, and that they run a garden hose to the customer's spigot. And then there's a float stop. So as the water level in the tank goes down, the float goes down and it opens up the little valve, which allows the customer's spigot to, you know, the garden hose to refill or begin to fill the 250 or 200 gallon huge tank that you see on their rigs. And every time they let off the handle, the garden hose continues to fill their tank until the float valve goes up and shuts off the little door, and the little door doesn't allow the garden hose water to overflow their water tank. And then they get the pressure washing again, and the tank starts to go down, and the door opens, and then the spigot fills it again. So what that does is it gives you, let's say they're using a 7 or 8 gallon per minute pressure washer, and let's say they're actually using like 5 gallons per minute of it. If they have a 100 gallon tank, they have approximately 20 minutes until that tank is going to run dry. So again, that tells you right there, there's no way that they're heading out and they're doing pressure wash jobs at these houses or apartment complexes or whatever they're doing and not using the customer's water, because a 100 gallon tank would run out in about 20 gallons in about 20 minutes. And, you know, to put on your chemicals and then to rinse is going to obviously take more than 20 minutes. And if you're soft washing, you're using a lot of volume compared to pressure washing, where you're using pressure, not necessarily volume. So, Mark, to answer your question, do customers care that I use their water and not my own? We all use their water for the most part. Of course, there's going to be different circumstances where you don't. But we all use their water. Some of us have to roll with big tanks because we have big pumps and we don't rely on garden hose water from spigots to adequately supply water to our pressure washer pumps. And pressure washer pumps that aren't adequately supplied water will cavitate and will burn up, and can burn up really, really fast. So that, I hope that answers your question. We all use customers' water for the most part. I mean, again, there are different situations. Now, think about it in a different sense. You have mobile car wash people. Now, mobile car wash people go to parking lots. They go, you know, they go to places where you can't necessarily hook up a hose all the time. They need their water, but they don't need large volume pumps either. They can use cheap little Troy builds with little, you know, 1.75 or 2.25 gallon per minute pressure washers. And they're not on the water all the time. You know what I mean? They spray the car, they wash it with a rag, they spray the car, and they go. Maybe a total of 6-7 minutes of water and it's under pressure. It's not necessarily soft washing. So under pressure means they're not really using much volume. So they're little, maybe they're rolling with like a 50-gallon water tank. That 50-gallon water tank might last them all day, or you know, whatever they do, 4 or 5 cars, 6 cars in a day, depending on, you know, waxing, what they're doing. I don't know. I'm not a car detail guy. Those guys run a little bit of a different animal, but they run a much smaller pump, and they're using much less volume of water. So they may not use the customer's water, but they may, you know, they might, if they're smart, they might go to businesses first, and as their tanks run low, do residentials later where they can hook up a garden hose and fill their reservoir back up. So just a little food for thought. I hope that helps you guys out, maybe get you to understand. If you do a search on YouTube for you know, like pressure wash setups, you'll see how people set their float valves up and stuff like that, and that's where you can start learning about cavitating and adequately supplying water to your pumps and things like that. And that is what most of those people are doing. That's why most of those people have those big old tanks. And of course, there is a window of opportunity for them to get work done should they show up somewhere and there is no water supply. Like I said, an empty rental house, maybe the water's turned off, whatever. They might be able to show up and do something before their tanks run dry. But they got to have somebody posted to watch their tank, because if that tank gets to a certain point, it's not going to be pulling. There's not going to be water pushing the water out, and that pump's really going to be pulling that water, and one little hiccup, and man, you could really have a problem. So you definitely don't want to run your pump dry. All right, so that is that. Let's get up here to this job. I'm going to run up here. I passed by the Kroger because I didn't want to stop the conversation. I just got to put a little bit of gas in my 5-gallon can for my pressure washer today. We're probably going to use probably 2 gallons today. I'm probably going to fill it up once. Fill up my pressure, or yeah, my fuel tank. I'm going to top it off now, and I'm probably going to fill it up once, maybe twice, probably twice. So we're probably going to use about 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons of gas today to do this job. Excuse me. Oh boy, one more? Nope, I believe that's it. And then that's going to be it. So let's get up here, let's get set up. Let me get gas at my favorite place to get coffee. And let me get a coffee. It's 7:36 right now, and we're going to be on the job a little bit around 8. I told the guy I'd be there around 9, but it's okay if I get there early and start setting up. Excuse me, and start working some of these sidewalks and you know, seeing what we got going on. And then also I got a little proprietary blend of chemicals I'm going to be putting down on the rust stains that are there. Not going to tell you guys what I'm doing. That's going to be a trade secret, and it's some stuff I've been practicing with. Whew. Goodness gracious. So don't even ask, 'cause I'm not going to give that secret out. All right, so let me get set up, and then we'll do some video while we can. Gotta be careful though. Later.